there are many out there who want to believe in God. Some write to us saying how they want evidence, something to just strengthen their faith. Maybe they recently lost someone close to them, and they just want to believe that they will see that person again. Or maybe they just don't want to lose hope that there is more beyond this life of difficulty. And for many, that hope fades away because they struggle with unanswered questions, religious frustrations, or maybe just the idea of God seems so far-fetched, which is understandable. I mean, ever since we were kids, many of us were bombarded with images of God being this giant who sits on a cloud with sandals, right? You've seen it. And he has the little cute angels floating around him with harps. Basically, for most of our lives, we've been fed unrealistic depictions of God. And so, there's no wonder why, as you get older, when you start to question the depictions, the next thing you start to question is God himself. And so what has been helpful in my journey was being willing to study what the Bible actually says about God. And when you do, you find that the concept of God is not as far-fetched as the world may have you to believe. In fact, the concept of God becomes relatable. You see, there are things that most people believe and that even the scientific community accepts that are very similar to how the Bible describes God. Oh yes. Can you guess what they are? Okay, here's an easy one. Science teaches that the universe basically is never ending, going on, and that even at its beginning, it really still existed, but just in a different form. Basically, science teaches that the universe is everlasting. Well, when you read the Bible, it says God is everlasting, and that he was in the beginning and without end. And in the book of Acts, when the Apostle Paul was trying to describe God to the people in Athens, notice what he says. He said, "For in him we live and move and have our being." He used language that many today would ascribe to the universe, but he was referring to God. And also interesting, when the Bible describes the universe, it says that it was created to reflect God's glory. Almost as if he created it to be a visible reflection of his invisible nature. So yes, it's interesting. And we have a video on that that explores this further. So definitely check that out. But what is something else that people and scientists easily accept that is similar to how the Bible describes God? Well, it's interesting what many believe about energy. You see, science teaches about the law of conservation, which is the idea that energy cannot be created and that it cannot be destroyed. It can only change forms. So according to science, energy fills the entire universe, and all of the energy within the universe existed even before the universe became what it is now. Because that energy has always been there, just in a different form. Now, what does that have to do with anything? Well, the Bible says that God fills the universe, and that he cannot be what? Created or destroyed. He is the Alpha and the Omega. And it gets deeper than that, because unlike popular culture, the Bible does not describe God as an old giant living on a cloud. No, the Bible says that God is spirit. And in the Hebrew and in the Greek, the word spirit means breath, wind. And according to science, you know what wind is? A form of solar energy. And so it's fascinating. The Bible says the universe was created to display God's glory. Science says that the energy that made the universe has always existed, just in a different form. And the Bible says that God is spirit or wind, which is a form of solar energy. What's the point here? Are we trying to say that the universe or energy is God? No, that's not the point we're making. The point here is that if we can so easily believe what science says about things like the universe and energy, it should not be so far-fetched and difficult to believe what the Bible says about God. Because basically, what the Bible is simply saying is that the spirit that birthed everything into existence has sentience. It's intelligent, and there is a purpose behind it all. You know, it's interesting. There are three things that the Bible says God is. It says God is spirit, which is translated as wind. It says God is light, and it says God is love. You know what wind, light, and love have in common? We all need them. And even though we can't touch them, we can still feel them.